So that kind of takes us through some of the science and some of the research that we did before that. So now we're going to spend just a little bit of time looking at some videos of some clinical cases that we did with the SOLTIVE Super Pulse thulium fiber laser when we had it at Ohio State. And I picked out a couple of videos that tried to answer a few questions. And the first one was, again, this kind of concept of, well, does the thulium work well for hard stones? And we were lucky enough to have a few cases where we had some really hard stones. And I think Brian's going to flip over to the video here. So this first case is a large stone that we did ureteroscopically, 1,400 Hounsfield units on the CT. And what's interesting is if you look at the settings here, 0.05 joules. So not 0.5 joules, which would be a typical setting you'd use on the Homium, but we're at 0.05 joules, 400 hertz for most of this video. So it really goes to show like how efficiently this stone or this laser can break up this hard stone. There's a lot of headroom to actually go up higher in the settings. Here we briefly went to 0.1 at 200. You know, and I would say we're getting a little bit more of a dust cloud there effect as you're using that setting. You almost get this sort of vortex effect that's created. And then we're going back here to 0.05 again. And again, you know, you kind of see how those pieces start to bounce around. And what you do here is you just hover that laser fiber there and you just let it work. And what you'll find is the pieces just get consistently smaller. They get broken up, kind of ground down, and you're going to see, again, see that it sort of spins around a little bit. You see all that dust being created, and then you start to see that you're getting these fragments. And when you look at this, you can see for the most part they're pretty consistent in size. So those are the fragments that had come off the stone, but there's still some pieces of the main stone around yet. So we're going to kind of try and hunt those out yet. So there's a bigger piece. So again here, we're just kind of holding that laser fiber there and just letting it do the work, activating that laser. And now we're getting towards the end of the case. I've jumped ahead here a little bit, but this just kind of shows, you know, many of those small, really small kind of dust-like, true dust fragments being created. And you can see them just kind of flushing out through that axis sheet, sort of the dust storm coming down.